Welcome to the Reddit gang. We post the best content of Reddit every day. So make sure to subscribe and activate the notification bell. Also check out the meme gang on Facebook and Instagram for the finest memes. Enjoy the video. People on Reddit answer, what stupid myth do too many people believe? That if you put a frog in tepid water and slowly raise the temperature, the frog won't try to escape and save itself when the temp gets too high. Great for illustrating certain points, but completely untrue. That goldfish are meant to live in bowls. The average goldfish gets about 14 inches long in proper conditions, and because they're such sturdy animals, they generate ammonia like you wouldn't believe. They need heavy proper filtration. Yes, you should have 20 gallons per goldfish. That means 2 goldfish go into a filtered 40-gallon tank. No, an air pump is not a filter. No, a plant is not a filter. No, you cannot put other tropical fish with your goldfish, because goldfish require lower temperatures, 65 degrees Fahrenheit, while tropical fish require higher temperatures, 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Goldfish can live up to 25 years. Putting them in a bowl means you are stunting their growth, but not the growth of their inner organs. They stay 2 inches while their organs keep growing inside of them, which is why they die in 2 years, instead of living to be 25 years old, and over a foot long. That turned more into a rant than anything, but oh well. PSA brought to you by a humble aquatics associate at a pet store. Bermuda Triangle. For any given same-size sea area there is statistically the same amount of missing ships and planes. You get arthritis by cracking your knuckles. All it is just gas bubbles popping. Also, some guy did a long-term experiment, several decades I think, where he constantly cracked all knuckles in one hand and left the other one alone. After the experiment was over, they took x-rays and tests to find that both hands were practically identical in terms of condition. Too many people believe that porcupines can shoot their quills when they actually have to jab you with their quills. That if you're an organ donor then doctors won't try hard to save you and might let you die. I'm a doctor, when I'm treating a patient whether the patient is an organ donor or not never crosses my mind. I will genuinely have no idea. And even if I did, why would I want to sacrifice my patient for some random other patient across the country? Surely that would just make me look like a shit doctor. The McDonald's hot coffee case. People think this lady, Stella, decided I'm too stupid to realize coffee is hot. I'll drive really fast while it's in my lap, then spilled it on herself and sued McDonald's for shit ton of money. Now, what actually happened? Stella went to McDonald's with her grandson and got coffee. When her grandson was driving, it spilled. Stella accepted full responsibility for the spill, but the coffee was dangerously hot. So hot that Stella suffered 3rd-degree burns all over her legs. So she originally asked McDonald's to pay her medical bills, which were extremely low for a giant corporation like McDonald's. But McDonald's barely offered her anything even though they were the ones at fault, as their coffee was dangerously hot and they had received a lot of complaints about this, over 750 in fact. Anyway, Stella, since McDonald's refused to give her the money she needed, was forced to go to court. She won, and McDonald's was fined 2 days' coffee sales. The reason people believe this myth? Because McDonald's lawyers are really good at their jobs. They covered up the incident by making up and spreading this frivolous lawsuit story. The most annoying one to me is the idea that in America you pay the percent from your highest tax bracket on the whole of your income. I've had people brag to me about how they know to clock out early on certain days so that they don't make enough to go up a tax bracket, as if you would make less money by making more money. That blood is blue in your veins but turns red when exposed to the air. Total bullshit. Blood is always red, it just goes from dark crimson to bright, almost pink depending on how much oxygen is present in your blood. The blue color of your veins is just that, the color of the vein tissue. Because of how light shifts as it passes through the skin. If someone persists, ask them what color the blood is when they have it drawn. Because it's not in contact with the air. Hint, it's red. You don't need to wait 24 hours to report a missing person. If you sincerely think someone is missing, then report it. The faster that a missing person report is filed, the better chance there is that the person will be found. This is especially crucial when it comes to missing children. Despite what many people think, Albert Einstein never failed math. The confusion likely comes from the grading system, but this myth has been around for a long time and used by people as a sort of motivation. When he was shown a clipping from Ripley's Believe It or Not, where that myth originated, he responded, "I never failed in mathematics. Before I was 15 I had mastered differential and integral calculus." That companies value your hard work when you consistently go above and beyond. If you put in 100% effort all the time, congrats. That's your baseline. Edit: to clarify, I'm not saying be lazy or that hard work does not lead to better opportunities/advancement. All I'm saying is that more often than not, being the biggest contributor means you're more likely to be taken advantage of. I've worked in startups, agencies, and corporate 9-to-5s, and there is always somebody overworked and overstressed because people know he or she will get the job done. /rant. That people in the past got married and had children in their early teens. Historically speaking, most girls wouldn't enter puberty until the mid to late teens. For example, in 1850s Britain, the average girl started puberty at 16. In Norway during the same period, the average age of puberty onset was 18. Even outside of that biological requirement, there was almost always an economic side to marriage and childbirth as well. For much of recorded history, most people got married and had children in their late teens or even the early to mid-20s. It has to be my least favorite historical myth, right up there with medieval people didn't drink water. It's ignorance of biology at best, and an attempted excuse for child molestation at worst. I've spoken to several women who go to the gym often but stay away from weightlifting because they believe that it will make them look overly masculine. The vast majority of women don't produce nearly enough testosterone to ever look like a bodybuilder without chemical assistance. Hell, even most men don't look like competing bodybuilders after years in the gym. Weightlifting is much more likely to just help you get closer to having that beach body you're after, and has a ton of long-term health benefits as well. That nuclear power is negative for the environment/climate, or unsafe. It is the safest energy source we have, on par with the very best for life cycle CO2 emissions, zero during operation, obviously, and, no, the waste isn't a big problem. It can be stored, as in Finland, or reused. Fact is that we need nuclear as part of the solution to climate change. People need to realize this, for politicians to start doing something about it. Astrology. The amount of people I know that legitimately believe in astrology is mind-blowing. Not a single one of them can explain how it works either, other than well, a few times it was right, and it was right for my friend too, and she met her husband who's a Libra and they are perfect for each other. So there. That the coronavirus is a deadly plague that has infected hundreds of thousands of people, and people infected are doomed to death. In reality, the fatality rate of individuals with the coronavirus is around 4%, and the only reason why so many are dying in China is because of their ignorance of their medical programs, and lack of preparedness for an event like the current outbreak of the coronavirus. And the only reason why so many people believe this is because of ignorant and baseless fear-mongering from the media. That you have to be the alpha to your dog. The myth started with a research paper on wolves in captivity, and since then the original author has revoked his stance on the subject, but it's still a commonly held belief even in professional handlers and trainers. People didn't smile in old photographs because the shutter speeds were too slow. It was never that slow. Even early on, a portrait took only a matter of seconds to expose. People didn't smile in portraits because it was unfashionable to do so at the time. That's it. Nevertheless, there are many examples you can Google of people being caught smiling, but these would not be the shots chosen to hang on one's wall. That the Earth's different countries are still divided by a huge gap between rich and poor. This was in 1960, nowadays the majority of the population has left absolute poverty behind them and live in the middle between extreme poverty and wealth. Understanding this is important because it reminds us that there are still financial inequalities in the world we need to fight, but it also reminds us of all the progress we have achieved. Taking an ambulance gets you a room in the ER faster than driving a car. Every hospital triages. Minor stuff can wait while more serious things, heart attacks, traumas etc., will be seen first. Does not matter how you get there. To become a real gangster, follow these easy steps. Smash the like button and comment on this video. Subscribe to the Reddit gang and activate the notification bell. Like our Facebook page. Follow us on Instagram.